to give us the welcome remarks, let us give a warm round of applause to our respected and dynamic leader, the Honorable Francisco Isko Moreno de Magoso, the City Mayor of Manila, Philippines.
Thank you to Dr. Rosaline Bianson, our Division Chief, Maria Roda Servas, DOH National Tuberculosis Control Program, Ms. Beatriz Jose, DOH, Ms. I hope I'm going to pronounce it right. Sorry. Irona Dumpin, Dr. Brenda Wani, Sir Aman Sokla, Sir Andrew Kirkwood, Ms. Tariro Kudatsa, Ms. Lupar Rosen Adler, Dr. Mukawa Tanaka, Mr. Sirira Tarahan, Ms. Mona Drage, Dr. Paula Ujiwara, Dr. Camilo Roa, Dr. Andy Sagihani. Congratulations. I think you have a state visitor a few days ago. Oh, that was Malaysia, not Malaysia. Sorry, my geography. Miss Lisa Angela and all other guests, participants to this morning's very important event. Welcome to Manila. I hope I mentioned that. I'll only speak in a few minutes because my English is good only for 5 minutes. After that, my nose will be already. But again, kidding aside, we are very old. And as you all know, and I think by this time, you have I think some level of knowledge of this new administration that we really, despite of fiscal resources, like busy, as Mayor of Manila, we are busy. And again, we're trying to do our best to cope up with our challenges, and we continue with the limited resources, investing into MBN. MBN stands for Minimum Basic Needs. Whatever resources that we have, we try to spend it efficiently by focusing on this, what you call it, MBN. Housing, education, jobs, and healthcare. These are 4 basic needs that we believe alleviate quality of life of our, other than that, peace and order situation, cleanliness, the orderliness, it's just umami of governance. I still continue to believe that the quality of life must be invested. And in line with today's activities, your city government is the capital of the country. And I think DOH may agree with this. In terms of local government unit, I think we have the largest healthcare provider for free in the country. 44 health centers and continue to grow and continue to develop because we have the best health center in the world. I just found out in that 2 weeks ago in San Nicolas. You know, the only health center in the world with waterfalls. I thought was in Somalia. I mean, I really felt bad. It was really neglected. The physical structure, the working place, and the irony of it, you're providing healthcare. And we're exposing our healthcare frontliners into these hazards. So I we continue to develop our facilities like this one. This is newly renovated, fix, try to adapt to the space demand, proper orientation, frontline healthcare provider. And we just took over another 2 facilities. Suppose it used to be health center, but it was converted into other calisthenics activities. Because my predecessor opted to think that calisthenic facility is better than healthcare facility. So we took it over. Now they're about to, in a matter of few weeks again, revive this type of access to basic healthcare in the nearer to our hospitals. And we run 6 large bed capacity public hospitals, owned and operated by the local government. And now it's 7. We just opened the Baseco Hospital. It used to be a health center. I demolished it during my first term and put up a new building and made it as we are about to comply in the coming months with the DOH, converting it to a level 1 hospital. And I think that will be the only hospital in the country that address only 1 barangay. Just 1 barangay, because the population within the vicinity, 50 meters, 100 meters within the vicinity, is about 80,000 people. And the adjacent barangay, another 2,000. That's why I opted to make it more space, more healthcare. Through Director Lipuanan, our new director there, we are on the process to make it more functional and delivering its purpose. We recently added up new bed capacity with regard to our dialysis center, and we continue to invest in this type of healthcare service because a lot of people became millionaire with dialysis activities because they used to be billionaires. It's really hard for our people, really hard, especially our elders. So these are the things that we've been doing, trying to buy and acquire new equipment, diagnostic equipment, proper equipment, enough space, decluttering and photography in our hospital by making it more effective, our healthcare, community healthcare facilities. That's why we've been operating 44, and I think by the end of 2000, and it is friendly also, a friendly health center. Yeah.
That's my
Look at. The end of 2026, we are eyeing at least 50 because our population continues to grow, and our neighboring cities, with regard to their population, always wanted to visit us to access our healthcare facility. his life. So, the city policy on the top of the national law, we try to accommodate as many as we can. But we became the North Star of healthcare from other city. I'm happy to be of service. I hope it will not dry down our resources when limited resources. But rest assured here, all of you, maybe we can learn something from you, but rest assured that your city government is fully committed in addressing the healthcare of our city and particularly to the TB problem. Because when I was young, we don't have TV, television, but there's a lot of TV with my my neighbors. And I saw it, and I saw how dangerous it is if it is not attended. It's curable. My God, the problem is it's curable. This is not a rare disease that someone should die because of TB. It's only about access to proper diagnostic facility, medicine, access to doctors. My wife is a victim of TB when she was an active. She survived. I think she took a 6-month medication. It's like a candy. In brain. She's okay. So, from what I believe, it's curable. It's solvable. It's a matter of creating a universal act. The national government, the local government acting in unison, I think we can eradicate tuberculosis. It's curable, it can be confronted, and it's cheap. It's much expensive to address other diseases. So I don't think we can pay, especially you guys here going to us. I think with your help, with your expertise, your experience being shared to us, and through the leadership of our Manila Health Department, she is battle tested. Yes, metaphorically. We were together. I have a favorite doctor, infectious doctor, strong will, Doctora Cisco. When we put up the COVID center and all other things. So I do believe in our people, our doctors, all they need is to support coming from their local government. And good thing for them, it is in our area. So us working together through the leadership of our Director of Manila Health Department, Dr. Padilla, and the men and women healthcare provider, medical and non-medical, I think we can achieve something today and onwards. Last, we are committed. Help us, guide us, and we are committed to end tuberculosis in Manila. And I hope you can also help other far-flung areas in the country. I do believe that there are also great doctors and nurses in those rural areas. It's just that they don't have access to maybe knowledge and some materials. Address our sick patient, infected patient. So thank you for coming here today in Manila. That's almost 5 minutes. And it's feeling now the... I don't have TV, don't worry. Thank you, I'm honored, and we are very grateful. You guys choosing the city of Manila. And from there on, I think you are on the right track. Because Manila is the kilometer zero of the country. It all starts in Manila. You'll see anywhere you go, when you compute the kilometer, the 0 kilometer is here in Manila. So you're on the right direction in your journey, and us going together, working hand in hand together, I think the DOA's leadership, local government leadership, the NGOs, international organization coming together, we can solve and eradicate tuberculosis in the Philippines, especially in Manila. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope each and every one of you have safe travel, and may God continue to guide and bless each and every one. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Isko Moreno de Maguasa, for the warm welcome. We are truly for making Manila great again. So let's now proceed to the part of the program to give us the brief overview of the objectives of our visit. Let us all welcome the District 3 Health Officer. A round of applause to Dr. Maria Agnes L. Paderanga.
Good morning, everyone. I will be presenting the rationale. So with the hosting of the 39th Stop TB Partnership Board meeting, the Philippines proudly showcases its initiatives, partnerships, and commitments across both the public and private health sectors. These efforts are supported by all concerned agencies and led by no less than the President of the Republic. This collective action underscores the nation's firm belief that investing in TB prevention and control not only strengthens the broader health system, but also ensures healthier, more productive lives for Filipinos in communities free from tuberculosis. As part of the meeting, a field visit will offer board members first-hand insights into how these strategies are being implemented on the ground. This experience will highlight both the successes and challenges faced at the facility level, fostering deeper understanding and more informed decision-making. For the general objectives, to showcase the integrated delivery of tuberculosis services, or the IDOTS implementation, in the public and private sector. Specific objectives include to demonstrate the IDOTS implementation for both drug-susceptible and drug-resistant tuberculosis. Number 2, to demonstrate coordination and networking within the healthcare provider network of the local government unit. And for the third, to exemplify the different financing mechanisms for TB implementation. And for the last, to better understand the IDOTS implementation processes and procedures of the country.
Thank you very much, Dr. Paderanga. Before we proceed to the next part of the program, may we request every one of you to have your highly paced hair up for the good opportunity while the mayor is here, because the mayor will be attending an important meeting.
You have to ask them 20 pesos each.
We're paying 10 pesos. Okay, folks. So, can we have the photographers here in front? So that, where would you like? So maybe request all photographers here, please. And all the staff to remain at the back, please. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much.